So I was getting ready yesterday, and I just couldn't face turning that clock 1 hour forward. So I ran it back by 23 hours, and here we are. Saved all that time. Filter on. There we go. I don't know why, but we'll just do that. I found this, and I went, yeah, this is so true that I need to share it big time. Love is the unconfined energy from which all things flow. From right here. I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's stand, join together, and sing In the Silence. In this moment, love is here, peace is here, truth is here, God is here. And we just take a moment and acknowledge His presence moving in and through us this day. O loving Father, Mother God, in this moment, we choose to be open and receptive and responsive to your instruction and to your guidance in this day, in this moment. We are grateful for the opportunity to come together, to worship, to sing, and to pray in the name, in the nature, and in the power of the Christ. Amen.
Today's daily word is protected, and Sally will read the daily word.
All that God is, I am. In the book of Exodus, Moses learns that God's true name is I am. Made in God's image and likeness, all that God is, in truth, I also am. With God as my essence, I know that I am intrinsically good. I readily express the unconditional love and forgiveness that I am in truth. Claiming infinite wisdom is my unfailing source. I am wise and compassionate in all my affairs, creative and prosperous in all of my activities. I claim only the highest qualities of being for myself, so I refrain from putting any words of lack or limitation after the phrase I am. Through the Christ in me, I affirm that I am whole and perfect, a divine expression of God's glory in this world. All that God is, I am, and all is well. Christ in you, the hope of glory, Colossians 1:27.
There are so many opportunities for you to express the truth of who you are when you pay attention. and allow it to occur. Before we get into prayer and meditation today, I want to share with you something that got said to me yesterday that is thanks to you. We had a memorial service, a celebration of life, for our friend Andy Lozano. And one of the folks who came stood and said, I wasn't planning to speak, but I need to tell you this. This place is so warm and so welcoming and so celebrates life. I'm absolutely awestruck and pleased to be here. And that's you. Because you do that on a regular basis, because collectively we have chosen to express the truth of who we are, and that goes this way into all things. And people feel that. I just went like, I went, thank you. And you could do that too. Absolutely. Because we take turns, so to speak, expressing the truth of who we are and then practicing that, living it. And the more often we do it, the easier it becomes. I'll tell you what let's do. Let's take our affirmation together. I am a child of the living God. I have within me the all-creating power of the Christ. It radiates from me and blesses all whom I contact. I am now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I am now in the presence. Let's rest into that as we join with Steve and sing, I Am. From your heart now. Having spoken these words of the truth of us, affirming our oneness, our connection with Spirit, gently and easily, we move to that place within us. Our secret place. It is that place that Jesus called our inner closet. It is here, in the stillness and in the silence, that we do our work. And this day, as we enter in, we follow his instructions, which was to close the door. Close the door on those thoughts and feelings of what you should have done. Close the door on those things which I have yet to do this day. And for one holy moment, I rest and I listen. For in my prayers, I'm learning to ask believing. Here in the stillness, in the silence, answers come. Perhaps in a word, wholeness, harmony, order, peace. Perhaps in the vibration of the music that stirs your soul. Regardless of how it comes to you this day, know these gifts come to you wrapped in love. Unconfined energy. And this day I reach out and claim these gifts, and as I do so, I know in this moment all my needs are met. And I'm grateful, and I give thanks. In this place of at-one-ment, I hear you're a channel through which good flows. I affirm I am a channel through which good flows into my world. And in this day and in this moment, I open that channel wide. From me, through me, good flows. First into this room. Moving, touching, healing, blessing, joining with other thought of like mind and growing in strength and in power. From me, through me, good flows into our community, wherever that might be this day. Touching, healing, blessing. From me, through me, good flows into our city, across our state, touching, healing, blessing. I choose to keep this stream open, free. Good flows across our country, around our world, touching, healing, blessing. In affirming oneness, we know, regardless of circumstance, I am there. Good is there. Those things which seem to be out of alignment, disorder, inharmony, are but illusions. We see through it to the good of it, and regardless of appearance, we know God is there, good is there. From me, through me, good flows throughout our universe. And from this place, we know that in spirit and in truth, we are never separate one from the other. And as this flow of good moves somewhere, some when, someone is saying thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the gifts that have come this day, the good that has come this day from you, through you. Is so appreciated, and I am grateful, and that gratitude swells up and returns to you the circle of life, whole and complete in this moment, I breathe it. I rest in it for one holy moment. Knowing there is more yet for me to do this day, holding to this experience we have shared, gently now and easily, I bring my attention back to this place, to this now, to this moment, and from my heart, I join with you and pray as Jesus, our elder brother, has taught us, when he said, "As for you, pray therefore in this manner." So this fifth Sunday in Lent is all about overcoming. And just before service, we had an interesting conversation. I love all of you, by the way. In case I don't tell you often, I love you, I love you, I love you. And the reason is because you talk to each other, and Rob hears everything. Well, not everything. Just mostly everything. And I heard a conversation that was just way cool. And it went something like this. I thought I had solved this, whatever this was, but it keeps showing back up. And I went, what a perfect time to be here today, because it's all about overcoming. There's a process, and the challenge is we forget the process. And as I was looking at the news over this last week, I'm thinking a lot of different things. But not the least of which is the very first step in overcoming. The very first step. And 99 times out of 100, you'll miss it. He said, raising his hand. I had to be reminded. You see, the 3 days that Jesus remained in the tomb are the 3 steps to overcoming. And the first one was this: non-resistance. He didn't argue, he didn't complain. Well, he did kind of early, but then said, no, it's okay, this is mine to do. Right? If it be thy will, let this cup pass from me, we know that part. And no, I need to do this. So he didn't complain. He did what he needed to do to move through the challenges that were facing him. And from our perspective, not very pleasant. And we're going to talk about that on Good Friday a lot. But the first is non-resistance. He just literally, it's bumper sticker-ish, he just literally went with the flow. Because he knew God is in charge. I don't need to resist. I don't need to struggle. I don't need to push. I just need to be. And in being, I then allow God to flow and work through me so that the Christ of me comes through. And I'd forgotten that. But fortunately, my world reminds me, because there's a lot of stuff going on. And mostly it's about definitions. The differences we have are about definitions. And sometimes what we think of what those words mean for us. And I was reminded that our friend Gandhi and Martin Luther King, 2 real good examples, practiced non-resistance. They did not practice peace. Now, some people think they were peaceful men. Not so much. But non-resistance. What comes to me, I allow to come to me. I'm prepared for what comes to me because I know I'm a beloved child of God. And I know that if I push, if I struggle, if I resist, I get to be a light bulb. Hot, bright, but hot. Because that's what resistance does. And good in the short term, but I don't have a long shelf life. So I need to learn non-resistance. Now, that does not mean I'm a doormat, not even close. But I remember my instructions. Not easy to do, but the instructions are there. Agree with thine adversary quickly. Non-resistant. Agree with thine adversary quickly. It's so simple, and yet we forget it. We think that right is more important. See? And as long as we do that, we're still trying to force a circumstance, a position, a belief on somebody else. Be wary of the person who says, I know what's best for you if you will only live this way because I'm so much smarter than you. And I'm only doing it for your own good. And please, if you ever hear that from me, I'll ask in advance. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Having said thank you, I've got to get that in. Because that's not my intent. It wasn't our teacher's intent either. Here is a way to live, or not. When you live this way, these are the results you get. When you live a different way, you get different results. Guess who gets to choose? Feel free to raise your hand. So you make choices. It also means I don't have to defend my beliefs. Well, Rob, you believe, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We all have a list, right? And I go, yeah, and? Wind out of sails. Non-resistant. There's no war there. Okay? I choose not to. So I start with non-resistance. Fortunately, they're written down, so I don't have to remember them. I can read. And I have to look at what it says. Second is the taking on a divine activity, is the way it's worded here. But when I take on divine activity, what does that mean? Here's what that means. We teach it in this form, and that is the form of denial and affirmation, divine activity. This coming at me is what I'm seeing in my world. It is my reality, however, it is not my truth. It's just my world. So I can deny that it has any power over me. And that's all I'm talking about is power. See, one of the challenges we have a lot, and I get it frequently, so I'll just share it with you for what it's worth, is you guys say there's no bad in the world ever. Oh, sure there is. Because it's errors. That's what we're working on. It's how to get rid of error consciousness, error thinking. It's how somebody takes a look at their world and misunderstands and then applies their misunderstanding in expression. Okay. And I love them, and I give them no power, including when I say them, I'm talking about my thoughts and feelings. I give them no power over me. I affirm the truth that I'm a beloved child of God, and that when I ask believing, I shall receive an answer. And it will come from another child of God or a circumstance as a channel through which I can learn. The second part of that is, and I don't look at the channel, I look to the source. Jesus is my teacher, my brother, the Christ of me and as me. God is the source. So I respect and honor and love my teacher. I follow, as best I know how, what he taught. But I know what the source is. God is the source, and I'm thankful for that. And so I can look at any of my teachers and say the same thing. I can honor what they offer to me, choices that I get to make or not make, ways of expression that I make, because God is my source. And I hopefully put aside the temptation to abdicate my responsibility. Breathe. You're going to need to breathe, trust me. Breathe. Nowhere can I find anywhere in my texts where it says, give your money to the government and they will heal the sick. Give your money to the government and they will take care of the poor. Nowhere can I find that. What it says is, you. So I need to raise my hand and think what that means for me. Because part of that is taking my power back, isn't it? It doesn't mean I can't help. I can. But I don't want to get caught in the trap of not doing. How many of you have gone to a doctor and one said, I don't have to heal me because the doc will? Please don't raise your hand. But that's a common thought, isn't it? The doctor will heal me. No. A doctor will guide you and direct you. And you get to choose. But you do the healing. It's how our society looks at things. But I need to get involved in that divine activity. So first I need to be non-resistant. And then I get involved in divine activity. I need to get rid of, gently and easily, not eliminate. I use that word on purpose. For whatever reason, there is how many minds? One. Okay? Within this one mind are a lot of things I don't understand. So when I don't understand them, for now, I just need to do this. I need to let them go, focus on that which I do understand, and put to work. Right? That's the divine activity that I need to be involved in right here, right now. The rest will come through me and to me. I'm all right with that. It may take me a while to get there. And I'll interpret as I go along. I'll change my language as I go along. I'll change my thinking. But I'll do it gently. I'm not going to fight and struggle. Non-resistance. Activity of spirit. And the third thing is the assimilation and fulfillment of divine will. Not mine, but thy will be done. We need to do the same thing that our brother did in the garden. If you would rather let this cup pass from me, that would be okay by me. In modern text. He didn't say it quite that way, and he didn't say it in English, by the way, but that's another issue. And the answer that came to him was no. These are the steps that you must move through. You must prove to you what my word is, the truth of me, divine will. What does that mean? I don't know. Look in the mirror, you'll know. Because see, for each one of us, it's a little bit different. We're in different places. We see things differently. We can look at the exact same thing from two different perspectives and come away with our vision 180 degree opposed in our current level of understanding. Our job is to overcome that limitation that we place on our current level of understanding. Here's your truth. I am one with perfect life, love, intelligence, and substance. That is my truth. Because we know that God is all perfect life, love, intelligence, substance. And I'm one with that. And that's my path to learn how to express that oneness. And I'll share one more thing with you before we close. And when you do, be prepared to have things work the way they're supposed to. He said, saying this. I've been sharing with you that I've been working on me, all 90 trillion cells, or whatever the number happens to be, to express themselves in the perfection with which they were created. That includes my sinuses and my nasal passages. He said, asking for a Kleenex. Oh, and the head goes, oh, what's with that? And I had to stop. And I said, wait a minute, Rob. You asked for everything to work perfectly. It's working, pal. It's working. That's it. Get the Kleenex out, love it, and keep on. Right? My point is your body temple is going to respond to your thoughts and to your feelings. You just have to say, yes, this is part of that. It just is. And I need to love that and appreciate that. And it begins with the way we started today. Love. Love is unconfined energy. So we're just going to let that love flow to one another and to this body temple that you sit in right in this moment. I love you. Together, I love you. To this whole circumstance in which I find myself, I bless you. Together, I bless you. To my world and my steps in it, I appreciate you. Together, I appreciate you. And in overcoming the limitations, here's the truth. In this moment, I behold the Christ. Together, I behold the Christ. What a wonderful day.
Thank you for listening. Please feel free to pass this message along to your friends and family. You can obtain additional audio tapes or CDs by visiting our website or by calling our office at 541-772-6902. We invite you to join us in prayer. We know that prayer works, and now you can send your prayer request to our prayer team here at Christ Unity Church by using the form on our website. The activities, programs, and services of this ministry are presented on a love offering basis. All gifts, regardless of size, are gratefully accepted. You may participate either by sending your gift to Christ Unity Church, 540 North Holly Street, Medford, Oregon, 97501, or by visiting us on the internet at www.unitymedford.org.